What's up, guys? Today I did something interesting. A buddy of mine named Tom that I know through stand-up happens to be a businessman, and he owns a Porsche. And he was cool enough to take me for a ride, and at one point let me drive it, which I wasn't expecting. But basically I wanted to make some cool, interesting videos, the kind of things that I watch, and I thought this would be fun. And hopefully some of you guys enjoy it as well. But anyway, check it out. Got it? It's so cool that you can see the little humps. I've never been behind the wheel of a Porsche.
This is the first time. Okay, well, so you're a virgin.
Oh. There's so little. You can't see so much.
Did you get this mirror?
Yeah, I got that mirror.
Okay.
I turn. Okay. And do I push this down?
Did you get your foot on the brake?
Yeah. I have driven a car.
All right, well, you're asking me, is there anything special?
Well, no, I mean, like some cars, when you touch the brake, like there's no pedal travel before, just like.
Okay.
I didn't know how touchy it was, and I certainly.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Are you nervous?
I'm nervous.
You should be.
I am. This has only got 20,000 miles on it. It's pretty cherry right now.
This is amazing.
But when you get out here, punch it a little bit so you can feel it. But
all
just
right.
let's look, make sure there's no cops around. But just so you can go ahead and punch it a little bit. Don't. What the speed limit's 40, so punch it right up to 40. Oh, there are cops down here that would hit it. Yeah, go ahead.
That gets the 40 quick. This thing is awesome. So how many miles did it have on it when you got it?
0.
You bought this with 0 miles? Like
5 miles.
No, I was going to say normally it has like 5.
Literally it's like 7 miles.
That's amazing.
Brand new.
So this is your second Porsche, you said?
Second Porsche.
What made you start buying Porsches, aside from the fact that they're amazing?
Childhood fantasy car. Beautiful, fun, convertible.
Have you had sports cars before?
M3, BMW M3, and then muscle cars. First car was a Camaro, Mustang.
I had a Trans Am. I had a 97 Trans Am that I put a ridiculous amount of money into and never finished. I had a built 355 LT4 with a twin turbo project. The goal was around 700 horsepower at the wheels.
Oh wow, holy shit.
I still have the turbo kit, and I sold the motor in the Trans Am because I was trying to, pursue comedy, and somehow that didn't trump being, having a fast
It wasn't
car.
the Smokey and the Bandit.
No, it was a 97. It was a 95, so it was technically a 4th generation. But there was a motor change at one point. I like this line in the top of the steering wheel, so you could see that's like a racing thing. Do they still have the start thing on the left?
The thing that's really cool is they have launch mode, which is how you can get from 0 to 60 absolute fastest. It's got this PDK transmission, so it's got all these different. It's got Sport Plus, and you can adjust the transmission so it's more rigid. But the launch mode is the fastest way to get from 0 to 60.
That's awesome. Can we try that at some point? It doesn't destroy it, does it? I know there's some cars.
Well, it's you have to actually
do it so many times that the transmission goes. It's not like that in a Porsche, I would assume.
It's built to take it.
Okay, good. awesome. I love all the gauges and stuff.
How fast? 50?
We're doing 50.
What's the speed on it?
45.
Okay.
I feel like you're really...
I am really... Well, I think you're the first... Well, you're the first male to ever drive this car.
Oh, of course. You gotta let the girls drive
Absolutely.
it. That probably just makes them melt. You're like,
They-
oh my God, he's let me drive his Porsche.
I'm nervous for them too, but it's
like
worth it.
Is that like the Tom Fermi, like, dating 101 is like, bring him out in the Porsche, let him drive it, and then, yeah.
Well, honestly, no, it's not a maneuver, if that's what you're saying. It's, if
Just a fun thing to do?
yeah, absolutely. And there are women that are car buffs. There are a lot of women that
Absolutely.
actually like cars. The same. I used to read, Road and Track and Motor Trend and all that stuff religiously as growing up, and there are women that love cars too. So they
Have you watched Roadkill?
no.
You haven't seen Roadkill? Oh, dude, you would love it. It's a, oh God, I can't even believe I'm blanking on the name of the magazine. Hot Rod. It's the editor-in-chief of Hot Rod magazine, and this other dude from Hot Rod magazine, and they go around and do crazy things like they'll fly to a random place, buy a junk car from a junkyard, and try to get it up and running, and then go drag race it somewhere.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Hot Rod.
Surely you've seen Hot Rod magazine.
Oh yeah, no, I know the magazine. I've seen the magazine.
This is amazing.
Making sure we're on the right track here.
What is this thing that keeps ticking on the dash? Is it a clock?
Well, it's a chronograph. It's a clock /
Timer?
timer, chronograph, stopwatch.
Was that for like track days or something? It's just weird.
You can time anything you want with it.
This is how long it takes me to eat a taco.
Right. So is this what would be your ultimate car right now? What would be your fantasy car?
Man, I'm torn between two. I mean, obviously, I love Porsches. That's been a dream car of mine since I was a little kid. So probably a Porsche.
Turn left on Red Bull.
A Porsche 911. Oh, these people aren't going to let me over. Probably a Porsche 911 Turbo, or I really like the...
Do you want the turbo?
Yeah.
The 4 or the...
I mean, if money's no object, probably a GT2.
Okay. And do you want to take it on the track? I
yeah.
took my last Porsche on the track. I haven't. Have you ever driven on a track?
I haven't. I've done drag racing. I've done
You
a
have
lot
done
of
drag racing?
I've done a lot of drag racing.
Really?
Well, I used to be in a drag racing / street racing club,
Okay.
and
So how fast when you drag race? That's just like 0 to how much distance, right?
it's a quarter. Typically, it's a quarter mile or an eighth mile, and it's basically you're trying to get to the end of that quarter mile as fast as possible. So it's constantly
torque.
improving.
Well, it's torque and tires.
It's. I mean, it's a number of different things. You can change your rear gears. You can put stickier tires on. If you have an automatic transmission, you can put a torque converter in it. All sorts of stuff like that. You're changing your suspension.
So how fast do you usually get going? We're gonna take a right.
It depends on the car. Like my car, my Trans Am started off in the 14s, and it was like 14 something at 100 miles an hour, and I got it down to I think like 13.3, 13.4 at 105, 106, and that was without the.
That's the seconds.
Yeah.
Seconds, and then the 105 is miles per
Mile an
hour.
hour. Yeah. I didn't get to put the new motor or turbo kit in the car. I never finished that project.
Okay.
So with just putting the new motor in, should have put it in probably the 12s. 'Cause it had everything like AFR heads.
Now, did you ever have any problems doing that? Like any?
Oh yeah, I broke stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
But all right, you're how did you break stuff?
Well,
I want to know what your history is here.
I mean, like I changed the rear gears in the car, and then just from stress of launching it over and over again, those broke. I put headers in the car and consequently burned through a brake line. It was just small, stupid stuff like that. I just can't get over that I'm behind the wheel.
Do you like it? How does it feel?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Even it's been so long since I've been in a nice car. I drive around that old Grand Marquis now.
What year is that?
It's a 97. Are we turning right here?
Turn right here.
It's a 97, and just everything about it is made for old people. Like the steering is just a little sloppy.
So really, you think they designed that specifically for old people?
I think it's all about comfort. So the Chevy SS. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
It's an LS.
Well, actually, I know that now the Camaro they have an SS model.
Right.
So what is SS actually?
The Chevy SS is a 4-door. They don't ever advertise for it. It's a 4-door that they brought over from their sister company in Australia called Holden. It's a 4-door car with an LS3, which is a 425 horsepower V8. It's got an option for an automatic or a manual. But the first couple of years of it, the first year had a standard suspension, and then the second year in 15 they added a magnetic ride suspension that made the car very, very quick around a track. But Americans complained that it was too harsh, like break your teeth harsh. So the year after, the car is actually the 16. The year it's slower around a track, but Americans find it more comfortable. But they've only made like 3,000 of them in the U.S.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of them.
Take a right.
We're turning right here.
Take a right. Okay.
But yeah, for whatever reason, most Americans are. I mean,
they like the living room. They used to say it's like sitting on a Cadillac. So they used to say it's like sitting on a couch in your living room.
That's another. Okay, the two other cars I think I would love to have are an Audi RS7 and a Cadillac CTS-V. They're both 4-doors. They're both insanely fast. Like the RS7 with simple modifications, you can get it up to like 700 horsepower. It's all-wheel drive. The Cadillac comes with We're turning right.
In a couple mile.
The Cadillac comes with 640 horsepower, and it looks beastly. Have you seen the new ones?
I think so.
Ah, dude. Like,
nice.
if Darth Vader owned a car, it would be the CTS-V. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just got such angular.
Like I say, I get on the track, and the horsepower is good in the straightaway. But you get into the curves, and it doesn't really help that much. It's all about. It's all about the handling that gets you through the.
That's one of the things that's always impressed me about Porsches is like. I think I started to tell you when I was younger, my grandparents arranged for me to go on a ride in a 911 with a family friend, and he went. It was a 90-degree left turn that he took at like 60, and it was a 2-lane road and just went boop. Didn't lean. There was no body roll, no nothing. It was he had a turbo, a 911 turbo.
You can punch it. Gets up there fast.
That is great. How wide are the rear tires on this thing?
I don't know. I don't even know. What are they? 20-inch probably. They're 20-inch.
Well, they wouldn't be 20 inches wide. They're probably
I know, but they're 20-inch
diameter.
Yeah.
They're probably like a 9 or an 11-inch wide. I honestly don't know. I think they get wider on the turbos. I mean, I'm amazed it didn't spin the tires or anything.
They're brand new, actually. I just got all new tires on it. At 20,000 miles.
That was the other thing, but having
They're soft, as you know. They're
yeah,
soft, so you run through them quickly.
Yeah, I had really sticky tires in the back of my Trans Am, and the stickier tires you get, the faster you run through them.
Absolutely.
So like the tires that everyone wants for drag racing at any rate for a street car are the Mickey Thompsons, and they last for about as long as an oil change.
Okay.
They're like 3,000 to 5,000 miles, and then they're done.
Yeah.
And the tires I had were Nittos. They're the 555Rs, and those were good for about 15,000 miles, maybe. That's the thing. We're turning right here.
Yeah.
The Canon.
Yes, this is it. Yep. Canonwood. So yeah, things like that make it more expensive. Clearly.
Yeah,
they're going straight through to that back gate.
There's so many other things I feel like people don't, unless they're car people, they don't understand the costs attributed to it. But there's the thing I don't understand. There's some people that just view cars as like appliances.
Well, transportation gets you from point A to point B.
Is this a road?
We're going to this is
like a bike
trail.
path.
It is. It's a bike trail.
But it's got like a dividing line and like a stop sign and everything for it. Which way?
You can park there.
Park there?
Yeah. It looks pretty wide. Just don't hit anything. Park right there. That's a good spot. That's where we're going. Stone Giant Guest Park.
Hey.
Or over there. That's fine. Should start to beep when you get close. Go a little further.
Thank you so much for letting me drive this thing. This is
Absolutely.
absolutely fantastic.
You didn't hit anything.
No. I feel like you're surprised.
No, I'm not. Pleased. Very pleased. Okay, I can relax now. I'm driving.